go. Welcome to Over the Falls podcast, number 17. This week we are talking about music. We have quite a diverse range of music tastes in this room. So let's see where this takes us. Who's going to go first? Who wants to throw something in the hat?
How do we start it?
Well, I don't mind.
Well, I've got one that we could do, because I've sort of written a list of questions, and it's sort of in chronological order.
Okay, that sounds good.
As such. So the first one is the first sort of music you remember, and I've written here my dad's vinyl, and I'm sure it's going to be similar for all of us, I imagine.
That is interesting.
So I was thinking about, it's like 70s rock vinyl. That's sort of predominantly what my dad had. So it was like The Doors, Led Zeppelin,
Nice.
Rush, I don't know, like all those sort of prog, early metal rock
Goodness me.
bands. And I'm not sure if that's the earliest memory of music, but it's an early memory of music. So what about you guys' childhood and your
mine's a
parents'
similar thing, but I distinctly remember like my parents being very different. I remember drives in the car when I was very young, and if I was with Dad, it would be Pink Floyd, Neil Young, like loads of Neil Young, Warren Zevon, things like that. And then if it was with Mum, it'd be like Robert Palmer. And I love Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like some guys get all that. I definitely should not sing on this. Sorry.
And Sharky's goes bonkers as well with your mum in the car.
So, as you grow older, you meet other people. But let's get onto that later, because Sharky's bonkers is a very good good thing to talk about. So, what about you, Dave?
Yeah. When you said vinyl, I just had John Lennon Imagine sticking that came straight into my brain then. I remember my dad had that on vinyl. I remember listening to that. Tina Turner, he was a massive fan of Tina Turner.
Whoa,
I remember that, I was going to mention it.
Oh, mate, he loves Tina Turner.
Yeah.
He still does.
Okay.
He's been to see her like 3 times, I think.
Amazing.
So
Wonderful.
that's like quite fond memories growing up listening to Tina Turner in the car when we used to go from Abbott to like my mum's
That's
family in like the Midlands. My mum used to listen to a guy called Charlie Rich.
Charlie Rich. Don't know
Mate,
Charlie Rich.
I don't know where the influence came from there from my mum, but I think he's like a country singer.
Okay.
And so Charlie
Wow.
Rich, if anyone knows him, I don't
Charlie
know.
Rich.
And then what else did you used to listen to? UB40, my mum used to listen to a lot of.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, really
Like
cool.
a bit of
red,
all-
red
that's-
wine and all that sort of stuff.
They're British, are they?
Yeah, I think they're from the Midlands.
British
actually.
reggae.
Red
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah, that's
Isn't that UB40?
God, I thought
Yeah.
that was Simply Red. I honestly
I think it's UB40, but yeah.
that sort of genre, I am terrible at. I get all the names confused, all the music confused, all the songs confused. I just don't know
Queen?
who did it.
yeah.
A little bit of Queen
Yeah.
in my parents' vinyl collection.
Not so much for me.
Yeah.
But a massive confession while we're talking about Queen, I don't really like them that much.
You know what? The odd song I do like. I must admit, I'm not saying I
Bohemian
love
Rhapsody
Queen.
is a work of art. Like, it's incredible.
Who wants to live forever?
Mate,
I think I love that song so much because then the backstory is, but when they went to go, they got asked to do the soundtrack for Highlander, the film.
right.
Yeah.
They went to go and watch that with no music, obviously, because it was nothing on there at all. And they wrote "Who Wants to Live Forever" in the limo on the way home.
Mega talented.
That's incredible.
It's nuts.
That is, I'm not taking away anything.
No.
They are incredible. But
Similar to artists today, when you've got 17 people writing your songs and then auto-tune on top of it. So talented, the sort of the people who were, I guess, famous in the bands in like the 70s and 80s. You absolutely had to have talent, isn't it? It was
100%.
impossible not to.
Yeah.
So,
So just quickly going back to like first memories of music. Do you think
yeah.
that those first glimpses of music, do you think they pave your way, or do you think you as you develop, as you get older, you find your own click? Like you find
I think there's certainly like
there's got to be roots there, hasn't there?
thinking
There's
about
gotta
that
be-
now, because I love like synths and like electronic music.
Yeah.
That's kind of in my blood now, and I think some of the Tina Turner stuff. There's quite a lot of synths in there, and like
Mhm.
I love 80s music as well. Like
Yeah.
growing up through the 80s, there's a lot of synths and things. So yes, I think that has paved the way for my
Yeah.
love for
It's
that
got
particular
to,
type
hasn't
of
it?
music.
I think it's a bit
I'd
of
say so.
50-50, I would say. A little bit like maybe the nature-nurture thing where you take some things from your parents, i.e. music tastes and what you listen to, and then maybe 50% of just kind of what you like. But I agree. I think it does something. You know what I mean? Like, say if your parents listened to loads and loads and loads of, I don't know, you could pick any band really, like, say, Cranberries or whatever. I think you're more likely maybe to like something if you hear it a ton in your childhood, because it's almost like you're being conditioned, almost. I don't know.
So we just talked about the Cranberries, like, you just mentioned the Cranberries, right?
I just mentioned it because what a great band.
I remember doing the Duke of, what's he called?
Edinburgh.
Duke of Edinburgh Awards at Pembrokeshire, and you had to do the Nine Peak Walk or the Nine Chapel Walk. I can't remember, butchering this. And that was the only tape I had. I had Cranberry Zombie on single. And I had the Iowa Walkman where it had
Single
auto reverse. Yeah, so I listened to that
Not just the album.
all day.
What, just the one song?
The one song Zombie on repeat.
You pick worse songs.
Oh, definitely.
I
You
just
knew the
I
words
just-
by the end of the day, I
didn't
reckon.
even get sick of it once. I just thought it was
It's such a good
one of the
song.
greatest songs ever written on the planet ever.
Yeah.
Their album, though, talking about, like, reminiscing to listening to that album, Everyone's Doing It, So Why Can't We? Cranberries, was like going surfing in the back, like your dad's car,
man.
coming home from like a really good surf session, just having that in the car. It's like such a fond memory.
Yeah.
I love the Cranberries.
I love
Absolutely
the
love
Cranberries.
them. Especially that era.
Yeah.
There's Everyone's Doing It, So Why Can't We was one
No
album.
Need
and
to
then
Argue
No
as
Need to
well.
Argue. Those two albums, I was going to say it like later
flawless.
on, but honestly, they are absolutely flawless.
Yeah.
They really are. And I don't know how many times I've listened to
there
those
was-
two over and over.
There was a great sort of 20. I mean, there's loads of music coming out of every decade, obviously, but like there was for us in our age generation, there was that window from like the end of the 80s to like this, almost the tail end of the 90s. It was just album after album. It was just incredible. wasn't it?
Great music and all kinds of different genres. Like you had grunge coming out then, I suppose, didn't you?
Some
So
good
like
punk,
Alice in
Blink
Chains.
182.
Yeah, later
New
on
metal
you did.
Of
started.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like the world just bloomed.
I love the 80s. I don't really know why, because you mentioned before, you said you like the 80s, but I think in my parents' music collection, I think they had some 80s, but I think it must have been more so the 70s. But when I was in my early 20s, I went through a bit of a phase of listening to a lot of like the Smiths and the Cure and a lot of other like Depeche Mode, a lot of like 80s bands. I just love the 80s.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so good, and it's come round again as well. There's like you can see a lot of artists now are using that.
It's like,
like
it's cool
Stranger
again.
Things.
Yeah,
all that
Stranger
sort of
Things
thing
is a
have
good
been using it,
example.
like Kate Bush and
Yeah.
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 incredible stuff.
It's cool again.
It is
It's
cool
retro.
again.
Yeah, I
It's-
guess
it's-
so.
Yeah.
And Kate
Yeah.
Bush, I love the fact that Kate Bush used to sort of like lock herself away as well. Wouldn't get influenced by any other artists, so that's why her music's always really different.
Yeah.
So she doesn't get influenced by anybody. It's just like from her mind, and that is it. And I think, say for like running up that hill, she made an absolute fortune off that anyway. But then obviously Stranger Things just took it to like a whole other level because
Mad.
she wrote it, she produced it, and she sang on it,
Oh,
and she had all the rights to everything.
so
How good is that?
Amazing. Not many people can say that nowadays. I know there are some artists that could say that, but I think less so than 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
and 90s, because you got like loads of people writing it for them and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
exactly.
crazy, isn't it? It's different
All
time.
gets filtered out.
So I love a band called While She Sleeps, who are like they're British from Sheffield. They're heavy metal, and they, oh gosh, 2015 or just before, they cut all cords with any music label, and
Wow.
they went out on their own, and they basically didn't plead to their fans because they had a massive fan base, but they were like, put in as much money as you want, it'll go directly to us, and then we'll be able to hire a warehouse, hire a studio, build a studio even, because they're really handy. And they released an album called You Are We, which is dedicated to us. And mate, it is such a good album. It's so well produced because they care. They like, and they're so good at, just like Kate Bush, they just, it's like fuck all that shit, you know. It's just here's the music. How do we get it to you as fast as possible, and how do we get compensated?
I suppose it's come from the
it
heart
was
from them as
phenomenal.
well, isn't it? Because you've got
mate.
no sort of like directors or producers saying, "Oh,
No,
actually, change
they are
that
the
bit,
boss.
change this." Exactly.
Yeah.
They've done it how they wanted to do it.
I wonder how that works with streaming services now, though, because obviously music has changed so much now. Like, you used to be able to buy vinyl, then a tape, then a CD, then a mini disc, and so on. and now it's all about streaming, isn't it?
Mm.
I wonder how what band While She Sleeps.
While She Sleeps.
I wonder, like, can you listen to that band through what's the big one? Spotify. I suppose.
Yeah, they're on Spotify,
So
and
they've got
they
some
love
deal.
making a point of they'll say like, oh, we've had 20,000 listens for our new single or something. That's earned us a penny.
Oh yeah, because they don't get
each.
paid very well.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when they release the single on vinyl, I'll buy it,
Yeah.
and it costs me maybe 19 quid,
So
and that
they
goes
get
straight to them.
straight to them.
Guess that's why they do it. They release artwork inside the sleeve, don't they? They do like a cool vinyl pattern maybe and stuff. And I guess all that's coming back maybe from how badly they're getting paid through the streaming services. So all this is coming back now, isn't it? Owning a physical copy of something.
And touring a lot as well. That's where the money is, in the merch
Yeah.
and all that sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will buy, if I go and see a band, I will definitely buy the tour T-shirt if they've
Yeah.
got it. Like,
Oh,
as
merch
it's
while
a
you're
souvenir, isn't it? It's like I was there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I seldom buy anything else. I seldom buy like a vinyl or I don't know, a cap or because I'll just bloody lose it in the pit.
Yeah.
It's not appropriate.
No.
But I'm anything by. I've got like 10 bands that I'm deep in love with, and whatever they release, I'll just buy on vinyl. It just happens. It's like take my money.
So you talked about it just before we came on then, but buying your first, like, what was your first like cassette? Well, it would have been a cassette. So was it Zombie for you?
I do not know how I came to acquire that single. I remember it was in a sleeve though. It wasn't in like a box, like a fold-up box. It was in a sleeve. I can remember the front cover of it as well. It was just had Dolores on it on a chair. I don't know how I came to have it, but that was, that was probably one of the first tapes I ever can remember having.
Yeah.
Physically, yeah.
Tape, I think we must have been quite young because I was thinking, in my head, I remember tapes. I remember having a Walkman, so we had the tapes, and then you had the cool Walkmans where you could fast forward the song because it recognised the gap in the songs and things. However, we could look it up. I think CDs came out pretty early. They might have even come out in the late 80s, so we would have been
Compact
We would have
disc.
been young,
Yeah.
I guess. So the tapes, like I can remember having like Michael Jackson Bad on tape, but I don't think I bought that. I think that was maybe like my mum or my dad. So I remember that, but for me, I remember more of a CD, like my first CD. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Well,
Yeah,
now
we
we're on
can't
the
wait.
subject.
You got to whip it out now.
Come on, mate.
It was for a birthday, right? And I wish I could remember what birthday it was. But I was young, just say that. And it was PJ and Duncan's Psych.
It's worse than I thought.
No, it's pretty bad. But I was pretty young. I'm saying that pretty young now. I can look up now. That would have made me 17. No, I'm joking. I'm 17.
That's Ant and Deck, right? That's
Ant and Dec.
what just wrecked the mic. What?
Wreck the mic. Psych. I remember it. Like they were there, looking like they were from Compton with their baggy jeans, baggy
sideways
hats, and all that.
caps.
Yeah. And I definitely remember that, owning that. And then another one was when you collected the stickers from the BP garage, if anybody remembers that, and it had Rap Attack. That was a very early CD that I remember, and I've written that down on my notes. So cheating, I'll say 2, but Rap Attack and PJ and Duncan Psych.
Rap Attack had Luna's 5 on it.
Yeah,
It did.
and had loads
And
of other good songs.
whenever that song came on, he was either in your house, in my car, school discos, whatever.
Yeah,
I went to another place. Went to an absolute another place. That song is incredible.
I remember Rap Attack. I do
you
remember
had it as
Remember the
well,
front
didn't
I
you?
cover?
know. Remember it.
I remember
I
you
remember
had
the
it.
cover.
Yeah.
That era of like hip hop and rap and things was amazing.
Really, really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When
Warren
the
G,
ship goes
Tupac.
down.
Tune after tune. Tune
yeah.
after tune. Just
Yeah.
all the time.
Ice Cube,
Boys will be boys.
Boys to Men.
Yeah. End of the road.
Different.
R&B.
Cypress, Cypress Hill.
Yes, Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill. Yeah.
And NWA was still... they were quite old at that time, I think. Like, they weren't as young as some of these the newer things that we were listening to. At least I don't think.
Must have been very early 90s, that Rap Attack. But Dave, your first tape maybe... I don't know. Does that... Anyway, either you had a gift or you bought yourself, or...
It won't be as good as the story as yours, but I'm pretty sure it's like one of the nows.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it would have been. I don't know what
8?
number. No, I don't know. I don't think
Was
it
it
would have been that
earlier?
early. I think it would have been later than that.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was just like a compilation of all pop.
Yeah.
If you listen to it now, it'd be absolutely terrible. But there's a couple of bangers on there.
Couple of
There's
good
gotta
ones.
be-
I
There's
reckon.
got to be
Isn't
some
there?
bangers on
Like
there.
a
17
Twisted
maybe.
Sister on there maybe or something. Something good.
Yeah. You've said what yours is. I'm just going to say what my first vinyl is because I remember buying my first vinyl because I got into dance music quite late on.
Hit me with it.
First vinyl.
Venga Boys Up and Down.
Was it
Oh,
really?
It was, yeah.
Not the
Oh.
Venga Bus.
was there a remix on that or something? Because what's the draw to that?
Don't know.
It was popular. If it came on
It
the
was
dance
huge.
floor, I would definitely bop to it.
Yeah.
huge at the time. So
Wigfield
just went for
Saturday
it.
Night. Get that? Or
Oh,
my goodness.
do you remember the moves to Wigfield Saturday Night? There was like a dance.
some of them maybe.
I can remember the Macarena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
easy,
that.
but there was dance moves to Wigfield.
Yeah.
I just remember that weird frog noise all the way throughout it. Like, oink, oink.
Oh my
oink,
God, yeah.
oink. Dee da da da.
Straight on the dance floor. That just reminds me of school
you look at each other
discos.
like that.
School discos.
Talking about like dances and things. Do you remember when we used to go out drinking in the pier, and then everyone would lie down like you're rowing a boat?
Oh my gosh. What is that?
Oh my
Oops
God.
upside your head.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Well, how the hell did that even happen?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
Doesn't
everyone
work
we're in like a
with the
big
song.
boat going, oops, upside your head. So you're absolutely steaming,
I
obviously.
remember
yeah.
doing that in the lock-in in the Camry at like 4 o'clock in the morning once. I was like, what am I doing here?
What it's
I've
like.
got to go.
Pretty funny though.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty funny though.
I don't know where the hell that came from.
Alcohol, music,
Oh,
people. Hell of a
Yeah.
combination.
Good times.
First vinyl I bought was very recently, in my terms of my life, because I didn't have a record player.
no, of course not.
Similar for me, I think. I don't think I would have bought.
I think it was an Enter Shikari album.
How long ago do you think?
Oh, within the last 2 years.
Oh, like really
Yeah,
recently.
I
sort
bought a
of thing.
record. Oh no, sorry. When I was living in Spring Gardens, I had access to a record player. So I think it was Enter Shikari.
Yeah.
So maybe in last 4 years was my first ever vinyl
There's something
that I
about a vinyl.
purchased. Oh,
I do love them.
I'm addicted to it.
That's amazing. Just
I
like,
need to rein it in.
just the way they look, the way you just pull out the sleeve. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
everything's bigger and
Yeah.
better, and couple that with some good speakers, and you get that crackle when you lay it
Yeah.
down. Whoa.
yeah, it's good. Have you got anything, Duke?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, when I wrote the list, like I said, I was trying to sort of go in chronological order. So I've kind of got like first music, dad's vinyl. Then I just wrote down Rap Attack. And the next one I got here, because we would have been pretty young here, I reckon we would have been about 13 to 14 before we all get into all the dance music and things. I've got surfing video music.
Thought about that.
And I
my
think
goodness.
this sort of, including my dad's music taste and amongst other things, but surf videos in the, I don't know, I'm trying to think of this, late 90s maybe.
Yeah, it would be late
Yeah,
90s.
so late 90s. It was all kind of like rock music, punk, pop
Yeah.
punk.
And hip hop as well.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit of hip hop, but I would say the hip hop mainly came a bit late. It was
Yeah.
mainly like think about Rampage 2.
Oh,
It was all kind of like
goodness.
bands, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And I think that might have shaped a little bit of our earlier music taste.
100%. I still listen to 95%, if not more, of the music I've heard in Rampage, No Friends.
No Friends,
all those. I've got such good memories for me, and yeah, they helped me discover Boy Sets Fire, for God's sake. Boy Sets Fire,
Tom
one of my favourite
Petty
bands ever.
is a random one though, because I think one of the reasons why I love Tom Petty is because of
Friends of
early
None.
surfing
Yeah.
videos. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd love Tom Petty in the same way if it wasn't for those videos.
I'm absolutely with
No.
you. I'm absolutely with you there.
Okay,
Even Van Halen, like
Yeah.
I appreciate Van Halen like as much as the next person, but like 2 or 3 songs that have been on some of those films, I get goosebumps when I hear them because I can remember being where I was watching it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
it
that
just
is
carries that memory, doesn't it?
Fleetwood Mac, Tracy Chapman.
Yeah.
Fleetwood
Yeah.
Mac. I absolutely love Fleetwood Mac.
Got
Yeah.
to tell the story about Portugal,
Which one?
the Fleetwood Mac. When you
Oh, you
showed
hadn't
me
even heard?
Fleetwood Mac.
Like-
So
So how many years?
when did we go?
I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe.
It's like 2016, 17.
Yeah.
Would have been a bit longer, just putting it out there.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Thinking about the kids' ages, I reckon it might
Oh.
have been more like 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're
Time
probably
flies.
right.
It was
Actually,
pre-children for sure.
but
Yeah.
you'd only heard Fleetwood Mac "Go Your Own Way."
Yeah.
And then you just kind of like, oh, yeah, they're okay.
Yeah,
And I
I'd
was
never. I got a weird thing. See, if I don't like the name of an artist or a band, I immediately have a little barrier. I'm like, yeah, it's a bit snobby, but I can't get rid of it. I try.
Mate, I was
Incredible.
just like with that though. I remember saying to you, like, "Yeah, should we listen to Fleetwood Mac?" And you were like, "Oh no." So, mate, just and then
give it
give it a
time.
go, and then mate, it just like blew your socks off, didn't it?
Absolutely blew my socks
Yeah.
off. Couldn't believe it.
But I couldn't believe that you hadn't heard of any of the
No.
other tracks.
Couldn't
Yeah.
believe the chain.
It's crazy.
And
Oh,
Silver
Chain.
Springs is one of my favourite songs of all time now.
Yeah, so good.
So many good Big Love.
Yeah.
Oh,
So many
Gosh.
good tunes.
Remember you showing me Big Love, because he plays it live. Lindsey Buckingham plays it live.
Yeah.
Wow.
oh, yeah.
YouTube that.
Yes.
Lindsey Buckingham, Big Love live, does it solo.
Yeah.
Unbelievable guitar
Something
playing.
about live music, isn't there? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too much of a tangent, but like, that's special, isn't it? It's one thing to listen to something in your room or even on a surfing video or something, but to go and witness something live, and I
Yeah.
think the goosebumps and that feeling is so much stronger, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
You know?
There's so
Oh,
much
massive.
to it. There's so much to it, isn't there?
yeah. Can,
The anticipation before they come on, when you got the filler music while they're setting up the stage,
Yeah.
and you're there like looking around, and everybody's there for the same reason.
yeah.
You hope the first song might be this, it might be something else. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Bass drum,
Unbelievable.
like literally thundering out of your chest when the drummer's doing the sound check. I remember going to see Metallica for the first time I ever saw Metallica, and that was one of the things I remember. With Lars was on the drum kit, and he was just nailing the drum, and I couldn't believe how loud it was, because like what some bands do, because they were playing last, it might have even been Download or another time. It's like they crank it up about 20% volume for the last band, isn't it? You know, and I just couldn't believe
Yeah.
how loud it was.
Like feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
Properly
Oh, yeah.
feel it in your chest.
They did that, you know, when it was us three as well. We went to Cardiff and we went to go and watch Pendulum,
And Subfocus.
and Subfocus were incredible. I'd say they were maybe better than Pendulum, but Pendulum sort of did them dirty with the volume.
Oh, they did.
It was
And they
so quiet. I
really
could hear you
upped the
talk.
Yeah, because they were amazing.
Subfocus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
But I remember
Really,
them
really good.
being too quiet for a gig, and then when Pendulum came out, it kind of like
Blew your head off.
got you all crazy because they cranked up the volume so much.
But it was
Kinda like-
obvious.
It was
It
obvious.
was so obvious. It was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, dick move.
it was a little
Should
bit,
be the
wasn't
same. Should just be the same.
it? Even playing field then, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gigs. Talking about gigs. So,
Oh, gigs.
I know you're doing chronology. We'll come back if you.
No, it's
unless
fine.
you
No,
want to.
we can do gigs. We can even do first gigs, or the first gig that you remember.
I was going to say like first gig or favorite gig.
I got a very
We'll do
embarrassing
both if you want to.
Yeah.
We'll do
very
both.
embarrassing story about one of my first gigs I went to at Duke's. We went to watch Incubus.
Yeah,
I think it was Manchester, right?
probably got a better memory than me.
I think it was Manchester.
Yeah.
And God, first time ever seeing like that many people moving and in such a way, and I was like, oh, okay, this maybe is what a mosh pit is, and da da da. Da. And anyway, this song doesn't really carry a mosh pit with it. It's called Just a Phase, but it's got two sort of build-ups. And the first build-up doesn't do anything. I got a bit carried away, so it goes like it's just a, and he on stage he goes phase. I screamed out phase, like singing the next bit, and everyone's like, "Fuck's this guy?"
Who's this
Little
guy?
bit early there.
Sorry. Really embarrassing, but that was my first sort of heavy-ish experience of music. I think
Was that the one?
Hoobastank were on first as well.
Yes. Was that the one Enzo came to and he caught the
drumstick.
drummer's drumstick?
Good
or
grief.
was that another
That was
gig?
Rise Against, right?
No, I think.
No, I think it was Incubus, you know.
I
Or
think
did me and Enzo
You
go
and
separate?
Enzo went. I was supposed to go, but I don't know what happened. I couldn't go.
Got you.
And then I remember, I think you was like, didn't you like sleep in a car or something?
Yeah. Shout out to Enzo. That was a good gig.
That Incubus. As
Maybe
well.
it was just us two. Yeah, me and Enzo. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it might have been Hoobastank and Incubus. It was definitely Incubus though. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
I went to see Stereophonics with my brother and
Yeah.
all of his mates. We went down to Morva Stadium in Swansea,
Yeah.
and it was just like the biggest gig Stereophonics had ever done. It was just like, it felt like the whole of Wales were there. All of us got our eyebrows pierced. Really random. Like 7 of us got eyebrows pierced.
all in a line.
Yeah.
All in a row.
Really painful. Like
Yeah.
really painful. Yeah, I just remember that gig because it's gone down in history for Stereophonics as well, because I think that they were really good, and then they went up to another level because of that gig. It was just massive.
I remember
Huge,
a lot of
huge.
people, particularly in ABBA, obviously I guess Welsh, but I feel like I was one of the few people that didn't go to that gig. As in, like, a lot of people our age went to that gig. I didn't, and I remember some people say, "Oh, did you go to that?" I was like, "No, I didn't actually. No."
Yeah, I remember it. And you sort of like bumping into people from ABBA, like your own age and like a little bit older. Like it just seemed like everyone was there. It was crazy.
Man. I got shown Stereophonics back in school by a really nice girl called Kate, and that Thousand Trees song. Whenever I listen to it, I get really like emotional and happy, and like it's such a good song. Such a good song, and I get transported to like school bus straight away.
Your bedroom, I get transported to in that because I remember
was obsessed with that song.
Just playing it on your I don't know, boombox or whatever it was in your room. Yeah, I remember you used to play that a lot.
We met
phenomenal
Stuart Cable probably about a long time ago again now, but he was such a nice guy, you know. The drummer,
sorry,
he's passed away
drummer.
now, unfortunately. Yeah. But we were in the same bar in Cardiff, and it was like the beginning of the day. Really, it was sort of like midday, so there wasn't many people in there at all. And I think it was like, I don't know what we were doing in there, but anyway. I said to, because I was with Gav as well, my brother, and I said, look, sorry, you probably get this all the time, but my brother's like a massive Stereophonics fan. Any chance you can just pop over and say hello? Mate, we were talking to him for 45 minutes.
Amazing.
He sat down next to us. We had a beer with him. Hell of a nice guy.
Wow.
Really nice guy.
Awesome.
It's very daunting when you see someone famous that you're about to possibly see on stage or the next day or whatever, and you're like, how do I originally come up with a line that they're not going to be like?
I know.
You probably get this all the time. It's like a taxi driver, isn't it? Busy tonight?
Oh, I know.
Small talk.
I remember being really nervous because I was on a plane when I went traveling, so it was in 2003, and I was going from either Australia or New Zealand to Fiji, and Incubus were on the plane.
No.
They were like a bit
Didn't know
further
this.
down. And I was like building up the sort of conversation. I was like, oh my God. And a few people on the plane were noticing them. So it was Brandon Boyd, who was the name of the lead singer. And at the time, I wouldn't say he was like mega famous, but he was relatively famous, particularly in like America. And there's a few American people. But anyway.
Hot dude.
I went up to him, right? And all of the band. And this goes to show like the era of it. I didn't ask him for a selfie or anything. I asked for an autograph.
Yeah.
Remember that? An autograph.
Pen to paper, please.
Whereas, like, nowadays, I don't know, you probably wouldn't do that. Would you maybe ask them for a selfie or a photo or something like that?
Big artists now, they don't sign anything.
Do they not?
No.
What, because they can make money from it? Or
Yeah, because you can sell it.
No.
So,
yeah, I guess you can.
I've seen a video recently of Dave Grohl, and he's talking to these people, and this guy's like, "Can you please sign this?" He's like, "No, I only sign for charities. That's it."
Wow.
Fair enough.
Like,
What, just in case they just put it on eBay?
Yeah.
And sell it.
And you know, bands like Led Zeppelin, you know, the members that are still going won't sign anything.
I tell you, who will sign something because I've seen a video of him doing it. Trump, and he signed something, and you can hear him say, "You put it on eBay and you get 10 grand." There's a video of him signing something, telling the guy to sell it.
Donald.
Trumpy.
Mr. Trump.
I don't know how that landed on it, but it's
Well,
fine.
yeah.
Favorite gig then? Talk about like first gigs and things. What about favorite gig
Wow.
or favorite gigs?
Oh, who wants to go? Who's going first?
I got a good one. We were all there as well.
I think I know. Go for it.
Judge Jules.
Oh, my
Live
goodness
on Radio
me.
1
Yeah.
in Cardiff, Club Zeus.
Club Zeus
Yeah.
in Cardiff.
That
I've got
was
that on
great.
cassette somewhere. I've still got it somewhere.
So the background was like Judge Jules used to do like live radio shows from clubs around the UK every sort of Friday night, and we were lucky enough to get tickets to go to see this one. Mate, it was just, I was smiling thinking about it now.
I think we
just
owe
remember
that
the whole.
to you as
owe
well.
everything to you.
Because
I don't know what the hell I blagged us.
You did
getting
blag
in there
it.
somehow. I
Dude,
don't know what I did.
right. So
Someone's
this is,
birthday, right?
I've got some
we
weird
weren't old enough to be
memory.
in there. We were like
No, but I think
16 or 17.
didn't you say wasn't the blag? It was so and so's 18th birthday. Wasn't that the blag?
I think it must have been.
But you sorted it out somehow.
Yeah, I remember ringing like
Mate,
the nightclub and saying like, yeah, we're all 18 and it's my mate's 18th birthday, and we had a queue. There was a massive queue,
Yeah.
queue jump.
Yeah.
I think we had free tickets,
Yeah.
and it was just like, yeah, guys, yeah, come on in. And I remember the
hell,
security looking at us going, these guys aren't 18.
But they've rung ahead. Get them in.
I've never been so scared, right? When we were in that queue, I remember having a Fire Trap t-shirt on. I was like, Fire Trap shirt, bright orange. I was like, this is going to be the best night of my life, or the worst. I'm not going to get in.
Yeah.
Because I remember still I had like hair that was like very different to everybody else's. And then you disappeared for a little while. I was still with everybody else, like
Oh.
Enzo, Cal, etc. And then you came back and went, right, come to the front, and we all went down. And I remember I was on the edge of either having a panic attack or hysterics. I couldn't understand what's happening. And then we got inside. Smirnoff Ice, please.
Oh yeah, smell of ice.
It all worked out though, didn't it? It's in from memory.
one of the
We
greatest
all
nights.
kind of got in. You know, another weird thing I remember from that night. I thought about it earlier on today. Was nowadays they probably don't do it, and you can probably wear trainers. I remember we had to wear shoes.
Yeah.
Or like, and then I bought these horrible like silver buckle. Like shoes that were popular in like the early 2000s, really uncomfortable. That is not what you want to be dancing for 6 hours in. Yeah, basically kickers. But you know what? We've got a really, really good photo. Maybe we'll put it up with a post when this goes out. And we did use it for our WhatsApp group for us three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
yeah,
bouncers?
All three of us. It's that.
Any
night.
bouncers out there? Would you let those guys in
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great.
to a nightclub
Well,
for a
well,
live
I think
radio
the photos
performance?
from that night.
No, it is.
anyway.
I
Yeah,
remember
because
it.
yeah, you do have like a yellow shirt.
I'm wearing that shirt. I remember that shirt. It's the one time I ever wore it.
Good times, and also 16. What a great time to be going out. And,
But
Yeah.
just hold the phone 1 second. Do you remember? So halfway through, we started chanting. Right, we started chanting for one of the tracks we really wanted
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Hens and Cold. Right, the second trip.
Yeah.
What a banger! Anyway, it wasn't until we got home and everything settled down we listened to it again, didn't we? You could hear us chanting it
Yeah, we were live on Radio 1.
live on radio and chanting for this
Yeah.
song.
Right at the front.
And then like 3-4 songs later, you hear that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this is the best night of my life.
Do you remember the chant?
Hands on fucking cold. Over and over again.
Yeah, and that was on Radio 1
It was.
for a long time.
Oh,
Well, it's in their archive forever. We made history.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. But
It was
the
really good.
atmosphere in the clubs at that era, we lived through the best era for that type of music.
Yeah.
We were in
mean,
the moment there.
I haven't experienced it recently. The small snippets I've had, locally is Pierre playing a couple of trance songs, but
Yeah.
everyone just seems aggressive and angry. It's really weird.
But mate, the atmosphere that you could get in the nightclubs in that era, it was just like electric,
Yeah.
absolutely electric. Because like
Yeah.
you knew there was like the big DJ was coming along in like the next hour, and
Yeah.
the resident DJs were playing. You're like, you could just feel everything building. The
And no
crowd
one's-
was getting bigger. Everything was getting a bit tighter and
No
a bit
one's got
hotter
their
in there and
phone.
sweaty. And
Yeah. Oh, there's no phones.
No phones.
You just
Everyone's in there.
dancing.
in the moment,
Yeah.
happy as Larry.
All of
having a
our
great time.
mates, or all the vast majority of our mates at that time, because we were 16, we were all sort of there, I think.
Yeah.
Or
was a
We
good
were
crew.
we were so knowledgeable at music as well. It was like we lived that genre of music for a very good couple of years.
Yeah.
We knew any song that was coming out. We knew what white labels were. We knew
yeah.
that you were buying white labels.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
You knew what they were going to be. It was
Mm.
crazy.
If it was a bad mix, we were like, oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
Or like-
you
or-
hear
or-
the double beat and you're like,
Yeah.
Or if it was a good mix coming in. But you're right, really knowledgeable. And I think as the DJ, I imagine, you can see that in the room, sort of
Oh,
how
yeah.
well versed we are, like at all the songs and things like that at the time.
We I don't know if it was a spoken thing, but I remember feeling like if I heard a song, I had to tell Dave about it. Like I had to tell you about it, so possibly you could get it to put into your expanding collection. Because you became a DJ, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was. I was
A
pretty
resident
committed for
in-
quite an escape in Swansea. Yeah, I remember getting the call for that. I remember getting because I was working really hard, DJing, spending way too much time on my decks, way too much.
Very good fun though.
Yeah, loved it. And I remember just doing little gigs and stuff around Aber and whatnot. And then I remember getting the phone call about going to go and play in Escape in Swansea, and it was just like from Danny Slade, "How you doing, pal?" And yeah, it was just like one of those moments. I thought, oh my god, because Escape in Swansea at the time was just a huge nightclub,
Yeah, it was.
and it was rammed every week. It had all the big DJs,
Yeah.
amazing, and to play in front of a real crowd.
Yeah.
When you've been working hard to get to that point, it's a hell of a feeling.
Dude, being in the
Hell of a
audience, watching you on stage, and hearing other people I didn't know saying, "This guy's fucking amazing." I was just like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's put the bloody work in as well."
Yeah, those
A good era.
Swansea days, because it was even
times.
before we lived there, isn't it? Because me and you obviously lived in Swansea, but some of it was before that, obviously, wasn't it? Because when we lived there, we would have been 21, 22, I would say. But you were probably DJing before that, right?
Yeah, I think
How
I was
old were you?
18 when I DJ'd in
18.
there.
There you go then. So we had all that time travelling and going
Yeah.
down there and meeting people, and obviously you DJing, and then living down there from 21-ish.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, God, I remember. I used to like take the car, my mum's car, from here. I used to put some mileage on that car.
Yeah.
So we DJed in Pembrokeshire, DJing in Swansea,
And
or
no sleep.
Cardiff, or whatever. No, exactly. And then like just driving home after it. Mental.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great times.
Oh,
Definitely
Wouldn't
great
change it for the
Wouldn't
times.
world.
change it. No.
Change
No.
the world. Absolutely.
Yeah, really good fun.
But that is what happened, isn't it? We listened to the sort of bands and the rock music and things like that of the surfing videos, and that I think that obviously continued because surfing continued. But from when we were like probably 15, 16, you know, maybe for close to 10 years, we listened to a lot of dance music,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah.
In that period of time.
Colossal amounts of it.
Yeah.
It was
Oh my
always
gosh,
on,
yeah.
even in the sixth room, in the common room.
Yeah.
Blasting trance in the corner.
It was.
all day.
All day.
Yeah. With a little sprinkling of some songs from surf videos probably, but predominantly trance music.
Yeah.
It was huge in the, I guess, around the millennium, I
It
suppose.
was massive.
Yeah.
Because the DJs at the time, they're probably getting paid more now. But
Yeah.
even then, I remember hearing a rumour like Paul Oakenfold got paid like 500 grand to do like 2-hour set on Millennium Eve in New York.
Yeah.
I recorded it.
500 grand to get paid for like 2 hours work. It's pretty
That's
impressive.
insane.
It's mental.
Pretty
Talk about
good.
money quite a lot in this episode, but it's not. It's just like, yeah, kind of links in
part
with
and part,
music, doesn't
yeah.
it? It's part and parcel.
Yeah,
of
no,
it.
it's a business, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's an art form
Yeah.
and an amazing art form, but then for your art, you should get paid, I suppose, isn't it? So yeah, it's a tricky one. So yeah, I guess we had that stage.
So, what's your favourite gig then? Oh, is
It's so hard,
yeah.
Favorite
It's so
gig.
hard.
Oh, you know what? Oh, do you know? I'll have a
No,
good think now. I might be able to narrow it a bit easier. I know it's cheating again. Probably I'll probably be able to narrow it down maybe to a festival.
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
Festival's a good one.
And one of the best festivals I've ever been to. Even though Download with all of us was like absolutely incredible, but me and Med went to Reading in God, I
You
don't
talk
know
about
when.
Gallows?
2007 maybe. Metallica were
Rage
playing.
Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine
Killers.
hadn't played for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden they did. What was that big one? Coachella. They sort of signed
Oh.
up for Coachella. Oh my god, they haven't played together in like years
Yeah,
and
it
years
was
and years.
ages.
And we were like, oh, there's no way they're gonna like play in the UK. And then it came out that they were playing Reading, and then we were like buying tickets.
Every festival tried to nab them as soon as they were like playing
Yeah.
again. And Reading, I don't know how much they must have paid them, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But that lineup
that was on the bill. It was
uh,
just like okay.
incredible. Incredible lineup. But yeah, a single one. At least trying to maybe some really good Parkway Drive gigs. I don't know, Med.
Seeing Thrice in was it Cardiff or Swansea? It was the first time I saw Thrice, and they played a lot off from my favorite album, The Artist and the Ambulance. That was really, really good. It was so special. And I was with like Dave Salter, etc. Robbie, really, really like mixed bag of people. But I just remember it was so safe. Like I was right down the front, that entire thing, like hanging on the fence, and just being like, oh my god, I'm seeing one of my favorite bands, and they're playing all my favorite songs. And I knew every word. Another one is Boy Sets Fire, and they were supported by Funeral for a Friend. And this was years ago. I think it was in Newport, and I was so close to the lead singer for Boy Sets Fire, and I found Boy Sets Fire through surfing films.
Yeah.
He was spitting on my face, like when he was singing.
Which was loving, probably.
Like,
That's pretty close.
I was just like, this is me. I felt so comfortable and so alive and so happy, and everybody around me was the same. And it was just like, that Boy Sets Fire concert was incredible. And then in more recent years, I went to a gig in January, 2 nights on the trot, to see Amity Affliction. Oh my God, boys! I tell you what, I was almost in tears the entire time, and passion and screaming and all the rest of it. Just seeing these guys on stage, nothing better.
No.
And they play all the bangers,
That's
all
it.
the bangers,
No.
Crowd pleasers.
all the tunes.
Rise Against. I remember seeing a particularly good
Rise Against.
show by Rise Against as
In
well.
Cardiff.
We went
Yeah?
to Cardiff.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you remember? Because I keep thinking
That
I
was
dreamt
very
this,
good,
right?
that was.
Was there a bloke on top of another guy's shoulders with chicken drumsticks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I swear someone had a photo of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I turned around and there's a guy topless and he was drumming his mate's head with chicken drumsticks. And I was just going, yeah, this is South Wales.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
But yeah, that one. I remember there's a photo of me, I think, asleep on the train that
Yeah.
Med took of me. And I think we all went to that Rise Against
That was a
gig.
belter. I remember that.
To this day, that's still the band I've seen the most.
Is it?
Yeah, I think I'm on 12 times I've seen Rise Against.
Ooh.
And
Oh.
who's second? Parkway Drive second on like 7 or 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I love those two bands, but I don't think they're like my favourite bands ever. I think they may have
Yeah,
may
at
have
that
been
time
some
they might have
yeah,
been,
at that
though.
time it was like
Yeah.
oh.
I go through.
Watching Iron Maiden for the first time at Download Festival so 20 years ago, Download Festival changed its name from Monsters of Rock, I think, and Iron Maiden headlined on my 22nd birthday, I think, and that was incredible. Hearing them play the Klansman live, I was in bits. It was an absolute bits. So it's
Happy
like
place.
basically Braveheart in a metal song. Oh man, I was absolutely gone. I was right down the front. looking at
Slipknot.
them. Oh, my
I think the
yeah.
first
There's
time I
there's
watched
so many.
Slipknot in a festival was special because I remember he got everybody to sit down. And pretty much everybody sat down, and like,
Imagine
I mean,
festival
there's
audience
like
sat down.
thousands upon thousands of people. Yeah, I don't know. There's something good about a gig, or and then I talked about it on a previous podcast. I'm pretty sure when I went to LA and I went to High Times festival, but it was an indoor festival, and there was like what's it called? Kyle Gass, and,
Tenacious D.
yeah, Tenacious D
Oh.
played. And it was like, it wasn't like a massive one. It was quite a personal one, if you know what I mean. Like maybe a couple of hundred people. You know what I mean?
I remember you talking about
Hold
that.
on to that, man, because that is.
and
that's
it wasn't just
incredible.
them as well. It was like, you know, Be Real as well. It was, I don't know, it was a few sort of select small bands, and yeah, personal sort of experience then, isn't it? Not just like a huge stadium show.
Oh
maybe,
yeah.
you know.
Amazing.
No, you've hit a couple of like trancey sort of nights, haven't you, as well? Like big.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw a real curveball in this one.
Yeah.
Because I went to see Hans Zimmer live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
you telling me. Yeah.
And I remember seeing that it came out on Twitter that he was doing 2 shows as like pilots to see if it would work to do like a tour type thing, or you would do more shows after it if it worked.
Yeah.
Basically, cut a long story short, it's Hans Zimmer. He'd be on the piano. He had a full choir, full orchestra behind him, vocalists, electric guitars, playing all the music from like Dark Knight, Inception,
Oh,
Gladiator,
Wow.
Rain Man, all the belters.
Oof.
Honestly, it was like an out-of-body experience sitting in there. It really, really was. I just goosebumps. I was just
I
sitting
bet.
there. I was like, "This is absolutely incredible.
the
Like,
power.
I cannot beat this.
No.
You just can't beat it.
Amazing.
It was. It really, really was. And yeah,
I remember you,
I
saying
just
about that.
was thinking about it just then. I was thinking, I can't top that.
That's
And I was sitting in a chair, just like sitting
Yeah,
there,
no, you're not
What,
like
not dancing.
You're not
I'm
crowd surfing,
just
no.
like blown away.
blown away.
or in
Yeah.
a mosh pit, or but you don't have to be.
Exactly.
No, that's-
Goosebumps, isn't it?
Oh,
That's the wonder of music.
It is.
Like when it gets you, it gets you.
Yeah.
it really does.
and different genres, like you touched on it earlier on. I mean, you know, you'd be moved by like a classical piece of music. You'd be moved by like
Yeah.
some
Mate, you
hip hop piece.
You put
or-
Vivaldi's Winter on right now, I'll be in bits. It's absolutely phenomenal.
yeah,
Give that a spin later.
eclectic taste.
Oh, it's proper
Coming
eclectic taste going on here. But he was saying about a dance night just quickly as well. I
Yeah.
remember seeing Eddie Halliwell live in Escape. He was just DJing, and I was like, oh, and he just played. I can't remember the name of the track now. And honestly, it blew the roof off this place. The place went nuts, absolutely nuts. And it was just you're just looking around, going, "This is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so good."
And you're in the moment as well. I guess like
Yeah.
we touched on it with like the phones and stuff. Like people just aren't really. Not everybody, but a lot of people don't seem to be in the moment like maybe we used to be.
No.
You know?
I
Nowhere
don't
near.
know if people know the struggle. Do you remember when we went to like Time Flies? Time Flies in the Union. You had
Yeah.
to have a student sign you in.
Yeah,
Do you remember the risk you're taking, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Underage, first of all.
Yeah.
yeah.
But by rights, we had rights to be there because we fucking loved that music.
Yeah.
It's once a month as well.
Yeah, oh my god. And you're in the queue shivering. Can you sign me in? He's having it.
Yeah.
Fuck off, mate. No chance.
No chance.
Sorry. And you wait. Sometimes you might not get in and miss the first act or something.
Yeah.
And they had a foam party there sometimes.
Oh.
And all I had was jeans on and a t-shirt in February. And I was walking home, and then like this t-shirt is frozen now because because it's soaking wet from like the fairy liquid and stuff.
I think foam
and then
parties
you're
are way
literally
overrated.
walking like yeah, you're dancing.
Oh,
Why did we do that though?
so many stories from those nights, man.
Yeah, and Plastic Fantastics, remember that?
Yeah.
That was
Good
the sort of
good
same
era.
era, like I guess 16 to 18 maybe,
Yeah.
where Dave was sort of DJing, but maybe like a bit earlier on
Starting
in your
to
DJ.
get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just absolutely obsessed with it. Absolutely
Yeah,
obsessed with it.
and then we used to
I
drink
was.
at Paul Brown's house. Shout out Paul Brown.
Shout out Paul Brown.
And his parents were kind enough to let us sort of play music in the garage and pre-drink before
Yeah.
we went up to the Union.
Yeah, they did.
They were good times.
They were really good times.
Yeah.
Not caring the world.
No.
Just
Literally not
getting on
care in the
with
world. Apart from hopefully we'll get in.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that was it basically.
Or not be too drunk before we get there, maybe.
3 counties.
Yeah.
Why do you used to do that? Most people still do it now, but you're going out in the winter in like a t-shirt.
Oh, I don't know.
Baltic.
No chance anymore.
Not
I'm
a
in.
chance.
I'm in my coat.
I was
I'm in a
walking
warm
through
coat.
Birmingham in the middle of January in shorts and t-shirt going to Amity Affliction.
Because
Because I
you're
knew
going-
inside
Yeah.
I'm going to be sweating my head off.
Yeah, but
But
you're
then-
so cold when you come
Mate,
out.
my
though.
t-shirt, similar to your phone party t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, stuck to you, and you're like,
yeah.
I had to do the
Freezing.
thing where you put your arms inside your t-shirt and wrap yourself up. So you've got no
Oh
arms.
my gosh.
As long as your hotel
Oh.
isn't too far away from the gig as
The
well.
Birmingham
you
one
know?
was quite far.
Oh,
Manchester was round the corner,
yeah.
but
Oh,
yeah,
I hate being
Oh.
cold.
Yeah, it's not fun,
yeah
is
being
it?
cold.
I hate it.
But we were brought up on it being surfers and bodyboarders here.
This is very true.
Definitely.
This is very
definitely,
true.
Definitely.
We could tangent here about
I know.
the toilets, but we won't go into that. Not this one. So
No.
Right.
dream gigs. But who would you?
Oh, that's
You
a great
right, so you get 5.
Oh, 5.
That's
Yeah.
like too many, but yeah.
Maybe
dream
that's
gigs.
too many.
Are you on about dream gigs?
Yeah.
As in they can be dead.
Yeah. Any
Oh,
any band, any artist, any whatever.
Okay, I got a couple, yeah.
Yeah, one of them is pretty easy, and I think we're all going to say I'm pretty all Fleetwood Mac. I think
Yeah.
I think that's an easy
yeah.
one that we would all probably say, and it
They wouldn't be my headliner though.
and it would be incredible. I think that's an easy one off the list. Gone.
Unfortunately, I was I'm going to put Cranberries in there
But we
Yeah.
were
because
going.
we had tickets to go and see Cranberries.
Me and you were gonna
and
go
she
and see
passed
them.
away
Do
that
you remember?
year.
Yeah. Do you remember what happened though? Why
Yeah.
you didn't go?
Yeah, I remember it.
Remember?
Because the Manchester bombing happened like 3
Oh
or 4
yeah, and it
weeks
got
beforehand.
Yeah.
moved back, didn't
That's
it?
right.
And
they
then
postponed.
unfortunately,
Then she passed away, bless her.
Yeah.
so we got Cranberries, Fleetwood Mac. That's not bad.
Pearl Jam.
Oh, my
I would
gosh.
love to see Pearl Jam. And
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder.
I didn't realize you
Just-
liked Pearl Jam.
Yeah. Not all, but like
The
there's some
bangers though.
Yeah. some of
absolute
them.
belters.
Oh,
I
yes.
love them.
Yeah.
He's got an incredible voice.
In
Absolutely
Swansea, I remember one of your dorm mates.
Nathan.
Yeah.
He's the one who introduced me to it.
Yeah, I remember we used to listen to what wasn't one of them like I can't remember one of the Adams song or something or
Even Flow we used to listen to a lot.
Yeah.
Even Flow.
Even Flows in
That's a
Adam,
really-
I'm
Adam's
not a
song
huge
is
Pearl
Better
Jam
Man.
fan. Better Man.
Jeremy.
Yes.
All those.
Adam's song is Blink 182.
Yeah. You what? Sorry.
Adam's song's Blink 182.
All right. Hey, same.
That's a really sad one where that guy wrote the letter to the band and he killed himself.
Oh, really?
It's almost like Stan S.
I've cried listening to that in the car a
Oosh.
lot. The lyrics,
Yeah.
I think they sing the lyrics in the letter.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
really sad.
Pearl
That was
Jam
a downer,
Release. Is it Pearl Jam Release? Is it Release? I'm sure it's that. I'm getting my song.
I know.
mixed up here.
Sometimes it's
That-
it's
I
difficult,
I
isn't
sometimes get Pearl Jam songs mixed up with Soundgarden
No, I'm
songs.
going to go with Pearl Jam Release because that is one
it? Or
hell
Alice in
of a
Chains,
song.
like any sort of
Hell of a song.
90s sort of grungy. I'm gonna throw one out there. It's pretty easy for me. Nirvana.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Nirvana would
Yeah.
headline my dream.
Because I just
Dream
think
gig.
I know it's a classic one because obviously like the people who aren't here seem like well, you can't go and see them. Can
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can't. That's 100% in the top 5 for
Yeah.
me. Particularly like remember that MTV Unplugged? How good
I
that
would
was.
happily watch that.
Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Oh.
That one. That is probably I don't know the raw emotion in that song that he can sort of get across. I don't know. It's incredible.
Really talented guy.
Oh, so talented.
Unbelievably
And
talented.
love
Dave
to-
Grohl on the drums.
On the
Yeah.
drums.
I'd love to see Guns N' Roses when they were in like
Good.
Appetite for Destruction years.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you wouldn't come back from that right. That would be
Yeah.
bonkers.
That word.
Yeah.
I've seen Guns N' Roses. I've seen them, and I tell you what, it was not good.
Was he on all the coke?
I don't know what was going on, but he could not sing. Axel, God love him, with
Yeah.
his braids.
Yeah, braids.
He had braids.
Oh, very 90s.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
download. It was, and I remember I left to go back to my tent to go to sleep.
Wow. That bad.
That's quite.
Yeah, I was done.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
Sad story though, and I'm going to throw this in there as because I would love to see Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen Linkin Park, and I had the opportunity to do so at Sonisphere, but I went a party too hard, let's just say, and I couldn't leave my tent, and I heard Linkin Park from my tent.
Wow.
Were they not playing on one year we went to download? No, I'm not saying we physically
Maybe,
went
but
there,
I
but
didn't
were
go
we
and-
not on like a
I didn't go
second
and see them.
stage, and maybe they were playing on the first?
Maybe,
stage?
but I did not go and see them. I've never seen them.
I've got a poor memory sometimes.
Great album. Hybrid Theory.
Hybrid Theory.
Yeah.
I remember
is a
being on MSN,
beauty.
MSN chat, and this bodyboarder called like Cheech Fleck. That's his real name.
No, I remember. I
Cheech
vaguely
Fleck.
remember him. I think.
And he told me about Killswitch Engage and Linkin Park. And he's
Killswitch Engage.
Yeah.
Amazing man.
And
And we went to go and see them.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
us.
And he showed me Forgotten by Linkin Park and My Last Serenade by Killswitch Engage. And
Pretty good ones.
I remember just being like, they're on repeat.
What
Napster.
is this?
let's get them.
Oh, Napster.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
big shout out to Cheech.
It's such a big question, though, isn't it? Because you can kind of thinking about it in like in sort of the decades. Like, I'd love to have gone to see, like, I don't know, the Cure, the Smiths. Then you can go back further. Like, I'm not even like a massive fan, but some songs belt as like Elvis. Imagine you see Elvis.
Yeah.
Like,
anyone of that
like,
sort of genre.
I
I
don't know.
couldn't stand Elvis, right? Until I went to
Love
watch the
some songs.
film. I went to go and watch the Elvis film,
Ah.
the most recent one.
I haven't seen
And I
it.
good?
found out it's incredible, hell of a
Mm.
film. And I found out like he was treated like a product, you know, like he was just made to work, made to churn out these music, and like when he started to rebel because he was told under no circumstances he allowed to like gyrate on stage and stuff, and he broke that rule and he became even more popular.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
And
bet.
but he never went abroad. Do you know that?
No, I
No
didn't
way.
know. What?
He
Just
never
in
left America.
Just in the States.
Yeah, he never left
Oh, I
America
didn't
ever,
know that.
and he had big dreams to tour the world, and he was under contract to play at Vegas, and that's it.
Wow.
That's
It's
crazy.
horrific, man.
Wow.
So did he so how was he tied down? So
'Cause
like,
his
what is-
Record labels?
Yeah, what was it?
It was his band manager, for lack of a better word, who's
Ah.
played by Tom Hanks in the film, and he was just like,
No way.
"I own you," because he signed the contract and stuff. It's just like,
Oh.
you do what I tell you. But he,
Ouch.
because he found Elvis when he was very young, I'd say he groomed him. He
Oh,
groomed him to
really?
just be this product. Every Friday night, bang, you're in
Cash cow, that is,
Bellagio,
isn't it?
Bellagio.
Basically, yeah.
It's like
Yeah, cash
someone's
cow.
cash cow.
And it worked.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, Elvis never saw
Boy, did
another
it.
country.
Yeah, someone like I don't
Really
know,
sad.
not a huge fan, I suppose. Like, but I know a lot of people say something like the Beatles or something. Not for me. But
no,
yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of the Beatles. I'll be honest.
No,
I
me
really
neither.
sort of
Got
understood it.
nothing.
any more?
Pink Floyd,
Oh, that's a good shout.
Mm.
just doing the Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety. That'd be all right.
Yeah. Dave, any
That'd
more
be nice.
you can think of?
No, I think you said them as like Cranberries definitely because we were so close to going to see them as well, which
Oh.
is really frustrating because they
Yeah.
obviously things happen. But then
Yeah.
I'd love to see Pearl Jam.
Mm.
I really
Yeah.
would. They're
Yeah.
still around.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Queen. I know you said you didn't like Queen, but I'd love to have seen Queen
I'd love to
Yeah.
see Freddie Mercury. Yeah,
because what a talented guy.
So
Oh,
talented.
Well, the whole
What
band.
a voice.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, they were.
yeah, yeah.
They were, yeah.
what a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly seems like him though, isn't it? You know, I know like Brian May, the incredible guitarist and things,
Yeah.
but yeah, so talented.
Have you ever wanted to see the Rolling Stones?
You know what?
Do you like some of the Rolling Stones tracks actually?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Painted Black is.
Painted Black is
Give Me
one-
Shelter.
I think that's one of the better ones.
Give Me
for
Shelter is
Give Me
incredible.
Shelter's
Um,
the one for me.
Selected songs for me. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely love, but Painted Black is probably my favourite song.
But I think to this day that this is what I mentioned, that Rolling Stones have got the biggest crowd still ever, which is in Rio. I
wow.
think.
Do you
Yeah.
know what that number is or not?
No, I don't want to guess.
No, I remember Metallica played in somewhere in Russia, and that was absolutely
Colossal.
massive. I don't know the numbers either, but I remember seeing a video
Yeah.
of Metallica playing in, guess maybe it was, Moscow.
Yeah, it was a world. It was a world record, and I think the Rolling Stones still have it.
I'd love to know
It's
that number.
insane.
I'll Google it after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking about world records, do you remember me and you being in at the time
Yeah, at the time,
the biggest circle pit in
known,
the
known
world?
to humanity. Yeah, apparently.
With Devil Driver. Me and Red went to the gig, and we were lovely because we really wanted to hear him play Clouds Over California, I think it was. And we went there, we were like, oh, this is amazing. And then he just started saying, and he was like, right, we're going for it now. He goes, open it up, kept on saying it, and it
Dude.
got bigger and bigger
It was
and bigger.
wider than the download stage. I think it was about 100 meters wide.
Yeah. And, and I think they had a
more.
guy there,
From Guinness.
like judging it, you know what I mean?
Honestly,
to try and
he was
measure
there with his
it
clipboard.
if it was like the biggest one.
Sadly, it was immeasurable. Apparently, they couldn't, not because of the vastness of it, but like they were just saying they couldn't say that it started there and ended there or something.
Yeah.
So it was a fucking world record.
Big.
It was absolutely massive.
And we're going to see Korn.
Yeah,
We had to get out of there because at one point there was one surge, and like my shoulders was just like getting crushed. Both my feet were off the floor, just getting like pushed towards the
Helpless.
stage. I was like, I got to get out of here.
it's terrifying when.
And I
that
remember
happens.
you were just like jumping, or you were crowd surfing over the top to get it over the front,
Yeah.
and like you'd lost your trainer. It was just carnage, absolute carnage.
Well,
So good though.
Have you
Oh, I've got
seen?
some good stories about Med. Like,
I've been through the mill at gigs.
yeah.
Oh, you
You got knocked
yourself.
out.
Yeah, I
didn't
got
you?
knocked out in Pendulum. I landed
Yeah.
on my liver on the barrier.
That was a good one. That was inside the tent
Yeah,
in
inside the tent.
Download. It was like a Download indoor tent thing. I can't remember what it was called. That was incredible.
And I remember being outside the tent with the worst headache I've ever had in my life, and just like, that's my day ruined. I got knocked out watching Bury Tomorrow. I jumped at the same guy as this guy pushed me, and I tripped over another guy, and my head went bang straight to the floor. Missed that whole concert. Great. I remember thinking I was staying at your house, and I thought, why aren't you there?
Oh, you were really
Yeah, I was
concussed then.
really gone, mate. I was
Yeah.
talking to this guy, and he's like, "Do you know who you're with?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm with Dave. I'm with Dave." Was not. I was absolutely not with you. At all.
Everyone looking for Dave.
He's like, yeah, mate, okay.
I kept calling him.
Okay.
Kept calling the
Okay.
guy George. That was not his name,
Oh mate.
but I can remember that. It was bonkers. I've
Yeah.
lost shoes. Funny story about Reading was
Yeah.
midway through Killers. I'd lost Dukes in Reading.
Killers.
Yeah, we watched
Midway
Killers.
through Killers, it was after Block Party. So Block Party were on, massive laser show. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was good.
And then Killers were on next. And halfway through Killers, I was like, fuck, I've lost Dukes. I think maybe you went for a wee or I went for a wee or something. Hard to find yourself in that amount of people. And I remember I got bored of Killers. And I was like, because I was so far back.
Okay.
I was like, it's not doing it for me. I was like, Gallows are on. Let's go and watch Gallows. Dukes was there. He's already there. He must have had the same idea.
Same idea as watching it, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, because I do like the Killers, and they got some
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really
Not
good
taking anything away
songs and
from them,
everything.
yeah.
It was just, it wasn't quite happening for me for some reason, and then I left, saw the Gallows. It was like one of the best gigs I've ever been to. That one with
Oh,
Frank
man.
Carter, who was on fire in that.
So
and,
Frank Carter now sings for Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, who were
Ah.
incredible live as well.
yeah.
But like this, Gallows were like the heaviest new band that I think you discovered them, didn't you? Orchestra of Wolves,
yeah,
and fresh
in the
heavy-
belly
like,
of a shark, I think
heavy
it was
as
the song
fuck, dude.
that I sort of came across.
And
or
just
whatever.
it was absolute lunacy. It was absolute lunacy, that concert was. And we were all mosh pitting around the tent pole, massive.
People
thing.
climbing up the tent pole to,
Oh
to
my
the top.
God.
You know what? Another funny story that involves all three of us, and I'm trying to remember the band name. I think they're like a Mexican
Oh,
heavy metal.
Upon a Burning Body.
Upon a Burning Body. And we were all in the tent, and it was like the first night of a festival. We went to,
Download.
Download.
yeah.
And we're all sitting there, and we're like, "Aye, we're not going to go too hard tonight." And then we're just like drinking these beers and stuff. A couple of bands, you watch them and stuff, and this, these guys look pretty cool. Who are these guys? And they started, and they were like really good, like a huge chunky riff, like really, really good, really get to it. Launched the beers straight to the mosh pit, all of us, arms and legs going everywhere,
Oh yeah.
crowd
Yeah,
surfing.
That
Yeah,
was good fun.
that didn't go to plan at all.
No.
Having a quiet night on that one.
Oh man, no.
You talk about the Killers then, another fact. But you know Mr. Brightside.
Yep.
So the drummer put a little advert in the newspaper, right, to get a band together, and Brandon Flowers responded to that advert.
He's the lead singer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, the two of them wrote Mr. Brightside.
That's insane.
That's a hell of a fact.
Wow, that is a
I
great
love that fact.
music. I don't have
Oh,
many music facts.
I'm
on
probably
that.
going to
It's a
call out
belter.
on that. It might not be 2 weeks, but the both of them wrote that very
Wow.
early on. And that is like one of the greatest songs for me.
Oh,
personally.
you know, I
It's
remember going
huge.
to Andy's Records, and I can't remember. Maybe I heard one song, maybe, and I went to Andy's Records, and I remember in Andy's Records they used to have like a selective like 20 CDs, and they used to have the headphones next to them.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
was, like,
Yeah.
on these like poles or whatever. I remember listening to like skipping a few tracks, thinking, oh, that's unbelievable, and then buying that album, Hot Fuss,
That's
Fuss.
it.
wasn't it? With like the buildings in it and stuff.
Yeah.
And wow, that album
That
was
is a corker
incredible.
of an album.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Andy's Records, actually. What a stalwart
Massive
for
shout out
Aberystwyth.
to Andy's Records.
Yeah.
I remember buying. You could buy them for a quid, and it would be in a brown paper bag.
Yeah.
And it'd be like 4 singles on cassette, and it'd be like mixed bag. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
It's
discovering.
still open now.
Yeah, incredible.
He-
Really
what a
important.
guy.
must sell online. So I was thinking he's beaten so many credit crunches and recessions, but
Yeah.
amazing shop. And it's something else, a band that reminds me of that shop, you know, because we used to walk down from school and we used to go into Andy's Records and we used to look at stuff. And I think I had it on tape, maybe you did as well. And it was a Prodigy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, we have
For-
which
yeah,
one?
yeah.
Music for the Jilted Generation.
Oh,
And Prodigy Experienced, I think it was called. It was like a white
yeah, the
cover
experience.
or The Experience. And
That's
that,
got another dimension on it. That one,
yeah.
and then music for the Jilted
Uh,
Generation's got Voodoo People on it.
Yes.
People. I was just about to say
yes.
Voodoo People.
And then quite a bit later on was the Fat of the Land, the one with the crab on it. That was quite sort of later.
Prodigy, right up there. I'd love to see.
But that was
Prodigy
I used to really love them sort of when I was 17, maybe 18. Another band that
dirty, like
yeah,
dirty,
Diesel
like
Power,
heavy.
remember
Oh,
that?
mate, can't be a bit. Of
I don't know.
proj.
Music is it's amazing, isn't it? Music,
no, it is, yeah.
an amazing thing.
Yeah, I know it is.
Guilty pleasures.
That's a good one. That is
Secret
a good
little
one, you know.
secret ones that you're like.
Um,
Shall I admit this?
I've got like
I don't
every time I hear a song like on the radio, I got an easy listening playlist. So I go, I like that. I'll chuck that in there.
Good way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry Styles. Harry Styles has got a couple of really good songs.
He's the guy from
Watermelon Sugar.
One-
I'm not a
One
fan, I
Direction?
gotta admit.
That- that guy?
Yeah.
Can't remember the name
Watermelon
of it.
Sugar High is one of the ones I remember.
Not that one. There's
stand
one
it.
really
So-
good one. There's no, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got a
I know.
couple of really good songs.
Yeah, he's an actor as well, isn't he?
Gabrielle Aplin, she's got a really few nice songs.
Don't know who that is. Damn.
Yeah, Gabrielle Aplin, Salvation. That's a beautiful song.
Okay.
London Grammar.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Really
not
nice.
sure if that's a
Really
guilty
good.
pleasure. I think that
Yeah.
is.
Something a bit different.
Or just something that you like, isn't it? I
Yeah.
I'd love
suppose.
to see London Grammar. Her voice is incredible,
Yeah.
and just how the
Really
the
good.
rest of the band just plink away. If you know what I mean, like it doesn't ever like get too loud and everything's.
Atmospheric, I describe
There
that.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
fills a room in your
Oh,
head, doesn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. I don't know why it came to my head because I don't think it's a guilty pleasure, and I've always loved it. And there's cover versions that are really good as well. But what's it called? Wicked Game by
Chris Isaac.
Chris Isaac.
Man, that's one of my favourite songs.
Yeah,
isn't it?
love that
I
song.
love that song, right? And really one of my favourite songs. That song, and it's weird. I remember they used to play it in the Commodore Cinema, right? So when you're waiting for a movie when we were really young, like 15, 16, I remember it used to come on occasionally when you're just staring at that red curtain, just
such a crazy
just
memory.
waiting for it.
Nice.
And I remember thinking, and I've always loved that song. And then when another great band,
Yeah.
that particularly you used to love, Med, I remember. They did a great cover.
They did.
of Wicked Game,
Yeah.
but the original is incredible.
Oh, I love that original.
So good.
Yeah. Tears for Fears, even though it's not a guilty pleasure, I'd say, but
No,
I don't know why.
80s.
It is 80s, and I'm like, Shout is one of my favourite songs of all
Incredible
time.
song.
Because it's just one of those songs. I think the actual original version is like 7 minutes long. And for me, it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and goes all the way. I know you love your guitars and everything, but it's quite a basic guitar solo at the end of it. But honestly, I absolutely love it. So good.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I love being shown a song in a certain situation or environment that fits, and then you every time you listen to it, you like take them straight back there.
Yeah.
The
Reminiscing.
The Cult. I
Oh,
got shown
yeah.
a song by the Cult called "The Phoenix," and it's similar. It builds on this guitar, and the guy showing it to me was this Hawaiian guy who was traveling with his Mexican wife and their beautiful little son, Aaron, I think his name was, and he put headphones on me. And he just listened to this song and just look at the sea, and I was like, okay, gone, mate. I was like, oh my god. And this song's long. It's like 9 minutes. I took it off. I was like, can I do it again? It just, oh man. And every time I hear that song, The Phoenix, it's just like, I'm right there again on that beach, sanding my toes.
Nice.
Just having met this person and bonded with them so well.
It is funny how you can listen to a song and it can take you right back somewhere,
yeah.
isn't it?
It's like a
literally in that
smell
moment.
or-
Yeah, smells them.
Smells are powerful things to transport you. Like, say if you smell something like that's like the canteen, that's like a turkey burger or something. You know, where you have like a weird smell if you go back. But
Cheese on toast.
you were cheese on bread, sweaty bread as well. You were talking about meeting a guy, Med, right? And I was just thinking about it because we've all done a little bit of traveling. I think that's quite a good question. Bands or music that you were introduced to while you were traveling?
Oh, God, I can see them now.
Med, if you're ready.
The Black Seeds,
Yeah. Okay.
New Zealand Kiwi band, and Fat Freddy's Drop.
Okay.
I got shown
Oh,
those.
that's
I got
good.
shown
That's
those
good.
those two bands while I was traveling, and I still listen to them to this day.
Yeah. When I went traveling, I got introduced to an awful lot. One of them, because it was in 2003, and it was quite a big sort of emo time, and I was in San Diego, and there was a lot of emo music going on. Med, you might have to help me with this one. I think one of the songs was like a box full of sharp objects or something. Do you remember? It's like a The Used. That's it. There was these South African...
Burt McCracken, I think.
Yeah.
The lead singer.
South African bodyboarders who I met in San Diego, and they had it must have been a CD. Like, do you remember the MP3 burnt CDs that you could make yourself, sort of thing?
Yeah.
I remember them giving me that, and it was like one of their popular albums or whatever. Oh man, I played that so much, like while I was traveling. But then I remember 1 year before I went traveling, or a couple of years before I went traveling, Enzo went traveling, and he said that he just heard loads of Counting Crows.
Oh, got Counting Crows.
Counting Crows,
and Mr. Jones, is it?
Yeah.
Then there's quite a few good songs. And then one of the classic ones is he was a surfer and he played like a little bit of acoustic guitar.
Oh, Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson. That was like a bit of a classic.
He
one,
peaked.
It, you know?
He peaked in like 2004, I think,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
he was big
he
when
was
I travelled.
everywhere when I was
Yeah.
traveling.
Yeah.
Everywhere, you couldn't
Yeah.
get away from him.
No, he was huge. And then I saw a few
His bubble
bands.
toes.
I'm really struggling to remember the name of this band, but a girl who I went traveling with, she was German, Leonie, lovely girl from Berlin she's from, and she took me to a band, and I'm really, really struggling to remember the name of this band now. He's got like ginger hair, the front man. It's a rock band, American rock band. And Dave Grohl has like drummed for this band a few times. Really struggling to remember it. My brain has gone
They did
totally
go with the flow.
Yes.
Oh, what the hell are they
Went
called?
to
I've
go-
got no idea.
I went to go and see them. They were really good, you know, and it's going to kill me not remembering this.
Google that.
And then I tell you who opened for them was, I think they were called Hole, I think it was called, and it was Kurt Cobain's ex, Courtney Love.
Oh.
And she wanted to see them as well, and it was Hole, I think was the name of the band. It was her. And then whatever the hell's band is, I'm going to Google it now. Dave, Google
Queens
it.
of the Stone Age.
That
Queens
was
of
it.
Stone Age.
Just
She
came
was
to me.
quite a
Yeah.
big fan. We used to listen to a lot of that in the flat in Sydney, and we went to go and see him.
Very,
in Sydney.
very underrated band, I'd
really
say.
good actually, and they had like a
Stone Age.
really
Queens
good,
of the
like,
Stone Age.
die-hard fans who went there in Sydney, and that was a really, really good gig. That was
Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon, yeah.
I didn't get introduced to Kings of Leon when traveling, but that if I listen to like Sex on Fire or anything, that particular track, I am straight back to Sydney.
Nice.
Amazing.
Same as Empire of the Sun, Walking on a Dream.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
yeah. I think
Oh,
that was
well,
a
maybe I
surfing video.
did. That's
Yeah.
That is like one of the songs that, I just close my eyes and I'm just sort of like sitting on the beach in Manly.
Oh, lovely.
Just-
lovely.
Yeah,
So
that sort of
good,
thing. It
isn't
just
it?
takes you straight back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, moving on from...
Okay, so recommended albums that possibly we haven't heard. So, like, if I tell you guys one, then you tell me one that.
Oh, you mean that you
possibly-
don't think that we've
Um,
heard? You mean?
Yeah.
Because I got to admit,
That makes
I don't listen to a lot of them.
No, I
if
don't
I think
either.
about how in depth and how involved I was when I was younger, and like you're right, we used to like go to Dave and like, oh, I found this amazing track because Dave was DJing at the time, or if I found like a really heavy band, I'd love to go
Yeah.
to you and tell you about
Yeah.
it. And then we all had like an iPod Classic with like
Yeah.
100 gig on it, and then going through bands and bands and bands. I had stuff on there I didn't really like. Well, I sort of liked it, but you had like an extensive like, I don't know, catalogue of music. And now I just hear something really good on the radio, I suppose, or something. I'm like, wow, I love that song. Or maybe like an old station like Magic or something. And you hear a song from like the 90s or the 80s that you haven't heard before. And I love that
Yeah.
as well. But if you got one, Med, go for it.
So mine is Under Oath, Erase Me.
Is this an album or a
Yeah,
song?
that's an album.
An album. Okay.
Under Oath, Erase Me.
Okay.
You don't like this band? But I can
The
tell you
Beatles?
No. It's Foals, Total Life Forever.
It's right. So I say I don't like the Falls, right? It's because of the name.
Mate, honestly.
I will definitely listen to it, bro.
So,
I gotta let go of this. I gotta let go of this weird thing.
oh, hang on. Yeah, no, it is that. Yeah, listen to that one. And then which is the one with Spanish Sahara on it? It's the one. No, it's not that one. I'll find the album name, but honestly, Foals. Just
Foals.
'cause I know you're not a fan of them, so I'm going to throw that
Well, you
at
either
you.
went Falls or Biffy Clyro, right?
Yeah, because you're a massive fan of Biffy Clyro.
I
Are you
like
still,
Biffy Clyro.
Are you still a big fan? of
Not as much as I was.
them? Okay.
Biffy Clyro.
Clyro, man.
Yeah.
I'm on the Biff. No, I'm not in recent years. No, I think Opposites, the last album that I really really loved,
Okay.
but it actually holds quite a lot of sad memories for me. So I don't really listen to it.
No, fair enough.
What about you, Duke?
The Queen is Dead by the Smiths, I think.
Oh, nice.
I've definitely not heard that.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Sick.
Give it a go. Like, because to be honest with you, like, typical, isn't it? Like, it'd probably be amazing just to look at the best of the Smiths, I suppose. Like,
Yes.
I used to listen a lot of the best of The Cure because it kind of had all the best ones, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
the whole purpose of it. But if I
Yeah.
had to pick one album of the Smiths, like
That's
The Light
the
That
one.
Never Goes Out and things like that, and I would say
Okay.
that, because that is I just think it's incredible. And Morrissey, like, I don't know, he's probably a bit of a knobhead and stuff. He's a bit of a weird guy, but like, just the music he was creating in the 80s, for me, I just love the 80s.
Yeah,
And that
dude.
sound and his voice, it was like so different, and I don't know, yeah.
It's like it was
Smiths for me.
not quite in tune with the band,
Yeah.
right? And it worked. It just worked so well.
I think the first song I remember hearing, again, surfing video, it was This Charming Man. And I loved that song. And then I think, like, you listen to it loads and loads and loads, a little bit like Tracy Chapman. Then you like it so much, you kind of go back and you're kind of like, oh, well, what other songs
Yeah, of course you
do
do.
they do? And
Yeah.
it was This Charming Man that sort of hooked me and got me to look at the back
Nice.
catalogue. But give that album a listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Bosh.
Yeah, we're hitting over an hour now.
Okay.
So, what's
Pretty
your
easy to
thoughts?
talk
I've
about.
got a last little musical
on, Em.
related just little thing. It's a little tip, really. So if we've just done Christmas,
Yeah.
and you usually whip out a quiz.
Yeah.
Dave Salter whipped out one of the funniest quizzes that I've ever taken part in, and it was to do with music, right?
Go
so
on,
he got 5 songs, and he found certain parts of the songs and they're really well-known songs. Like one was The Cure, one was Green Day, and you can't understand the lyrics. And you had to write down what you think the lyrics were.
This is a Peter Kay thing.
Oh, is it? I don't
yeah,
know.
but no, it's a hell of
I've
an
never
idea.
played it before. And
How do you mean the lyrics were? Because I haven't seen this Peter Kay thing. How do you mean the lyrics were like? How do you mean?
Oh God, I'm trying to remember the Cure song. I can't remember it at all. But there was a Dexy's Midnight Runner song on it, right?
Okay.
You know that Come On Irene guy. There was another song, and he was just like, "Oh, is it?" Like, and you couldn't understand the fucking word.
Is it a little bit like? Do you remember Club Singer by the Dove from Above? What the hell was that game show called? And it had
Shooting Stars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had the club singer, and he used to sing a popular song, but in like a club
didn't they?
singer
Yeah.
style, and then they had to guess the song.
Shoulders going up and down. When he
Yeah,
was singing it.
in that. So
Yeah,
is it
really
similar to that? Right.
But
got you.
instead,
Yeah.
so during that Dexy's bit, like Dave would just play that little snippet, like and you have to write down what the hell you think the lyrics are.
Right,
that's
And the lyrics are never what you think they are. It's like,
No.
I saw a Spanish lady in the club. I did not hear that. What?
I know what you're on about.
Really
now, about
good,
Peter Kay, when he says like tangerine instead of a different word for
Yeah.
the songs and things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny sketch.
Oh,
That's
it's
when he
really
does
it's
that.
really funny.
really
Yeah.
good.
Sweet. Yeah, that was fun. And music, we could do 5 more of these.
Oh, easy.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
like so much. Like tomorrow, I'll think like talking about who you'd like to see live. I'm
Mm.
sure there'll be a band, but I'm like, why didn't you say
No,
that
exactly.
that band? You know,
Same
You
as
think,
the
like, I'd
series
love-
one we did when as soon as we
Oh.
left, we were like Breaking Bad. When the hell we
Oh,
didn't talk about that?
there was some clangers on that one that we forgot
Yeah.
about. Breaking Bad was like a big one because I love
There will be
Breaking
part
Bad.
2s.
Just real quick then. We do a bit of exercise now and again, don't we? Just what
Yeah.
music do you listen to when you exercise?
Oh, okay. When I'm mountain biking,
Yeah.
or say I'm going on a long bike ride, I'll listen to Tool. I'll just put Tool on.
Okay,
Great
Yeah.
band.
good
Oh,
band.
yeah.
Really, really good band. Most of the time, it would be rock / metal, but that is definitely when I was doing weights. And you've just reminded me of something now. Do you remember when we used to do bench press in
Yeah.
Swansea, and we used to take that horrible thick shake and eat those really dry chicken breasts on the George Foreman? I don't know how we used to eat those.
Not me. I put on a stone of muscle though.
yeah. But we used to
Lean.
listen to Bullet for My Valentine.
Oh,
The Poison.
Tears Don't Fall, and the Poison,
album,
that
yeah.
album, right? And do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was just
absolutely amazing.
amazing. Anyway, sorry. So
That's a good album.
yes,
really good
metal for working out, and then sometimes I Google when I run. I like listening to music when I go running. I Google good albums to listen to while you're running, and some of them are like
PJ Duncan.
House. It's like let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready to rumble.
You know he knows the words.
What just wrecked the mic?
Oh.
That was great. Not even that bad. No, I used to Google like good albums to run to, and a lot of them would be like synth music. There's a style of music, and it's like quite repetitive beat, but it's sort of like. Do you remember the movie Drive?
Yeah.
I love that soundtrack in the movie Drive.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
and it's that style of music. It's sort of like an 80s synth, but new version. Someone will tell me, listen to this. But the movie Drive, the music that's in that,
Yeah.
that's really good to
It's
run
very
to.
80s
Yeah.
sounding,
It's quite-
synthy,
Yeah, it keeps you going, doesn't
progressive.
it?
There's like a beat
Yeah.
to it, and the synths, and it's like keeps you
Keeps
rolling.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
And I like listening to that sort of stuff.
Nice.
Dave?
Yeah, similar. Running, it's like I listen to Anjuna Deep, which is basically a sub-label of Anjuna Beats, who are like a massive trance label.
Okay. Yeah.
But Anjuna Deep is like a deeper version of like, it's like progressive, and it's like what you're saying about the Drive music. It's just repetitive, progressive. Run into that. If I'm on the bike, then it's trance.
Yeah. Trance.
Still banging out the trance.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Photographer Airport. That particular track is always on there.
I put it on when I remember it, but if I'm on shuffle in my car, I'm going on a long drive, and that comes on, volume 11. It's like
it's up.
as soon as right, crank it.
So if there's
Don't talk to
any dance music fans out there who like trance or anything, Photographer Airport, put it on if you haven't heard it.
You will not be disappointed.
Anyway, thanks, boys.
Yeah. Thanks.
Whoa,
Good.
whoa, last
Come on, then.
little question.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going to happen at the end of Happy Valley?
Okay, I don't want to do any spoilers because I don't think you've even called
No,
up
no,
yet.
it's.
I'm on
this-
episode.
you could guess this from season 2. Like what's?
I'm on episode like 3 or 4, so I'm not as far as you guys are. And I don't want to say too much because you say about the spoilers, but I'm not sure I'm far enough along if I'm honest with you. But I'm happy for you to say what you think. But yeah, I haven't watched it up to episode 6 or whatever yet. So
Okay. Well, I think it's going to end with Granny killing Tommy Lee Royce,
right, okay, yeah. Well, I know who those people are. So
and I
yeah.
think unfortunately that Tommy Lee Royce's spouse or son is going to
Ryan.
hate her for it
Oh,
forever.
that's
Right.
interesting.
By the way, as well, no spoilers because at the moment, anyway, he's in prison. So I don't want to know.
No,
yeah.
that all stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all
Yeah.
stands.
Okay, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hell of a series
Theory.
though.
Are you up to date? Have you?
Yeah,
'Cause I'm not.
It's very good, very good. I do
Yeah.
like the guy from The Chemist. I love his character.
Ah, yeah.
Lot to read into there.
I've
He's
just
got
seen.
a lot going on.
Yeah, but remember the last season from the guy who jumped off backwards from the bridge.
Yes.
Do you remember? He was really good because I really bought into how stressed he was.
Dude.
Like he was so stressed.
The writer is. I said this to my wife. She loves the downfall of like a male character. Like because you can see it in the last series with that guy,
that kind of
policeman.
tall, balding policeman
And now
guy.
you can see it with the chemist. He's just imploding.
And
it's
I can see, like, to take this really seriously for a moment, like, I can see for that chemist the pressure he is to raise to a level that his wife's family expects. Because you see a small snippet of like how much money matters to them.
And it's the sister, I think it is. They went to the house and she mentioned how big the decking was.
Yeah.
And the deck, and
they had a deck party.
Yeah, exactly.
He knew that he had to get new decking and
horrible.
Don't live like that, people. Keeping up with the Joneses, don't do it.
No. All right.
Yeah,
Happy.
banging.
Nice one,
Great
boys.
episode. Yeah, we'll do another one.
Keen.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks very much.
Peace and love.